Tervetuloa seuraamaan R-TVn lähetystä. Saimme täällä Itä-Suomessa kokea todellisten luonnonvoimien mahdin. Täällä oli myrsky ja vei sähköt pariksi tuntia tästä meiltä. Ja nyt toivotaan, että ollaan paremmalla tuurilla ja toivotaan, että luonnonvoimat hieman rauhoittuvat. Täällä on ollut koko päivän melkoinen tuuli. Nyt jatkan keskustelua virolaisten ystävieni kanssa, eli täällä on Lilleorusta tullut Practical Consciousness-kouluttajia ja nyt haastattelen seuraavaksi englannin kielellä Heidi Grenmania. Ja tässä tosiaan sähkökatkojen aikaa jäi teiltä näkemättä ehkä muutama haastattelu, jota tehtiin, mutta ne julkaistaan sitten vaan myöhemmin. Mutta nyt tähän tutustutaan Heidi Grenmaniin. Welcome to this show. You have been here already and you have witnessed us today what kind of weather is in eastern part of Finland. So how do you feel?
Thank you for your invitation, and the weather was actually great. We had a nice day with you, and actually in the morning when we wake up here, then we see what a wonderful place it is, and it's really near the lake, and we know that Finland is a lake land. So it was really nice proof of that. So it's really nice. We spent nice day, and let's continue here.
Yes. Yesterday we was already starting. You made a very short introduction about yourself, who you are and where you come, but perhaps we will, for those listeners and watchers who hasn't been on the channel yesterday, we will start like once again that you will tell a little bit detailed story of yours, and then we talk also something about how do you get contacted this Ingvar Vilido and this practical consciousness movement and so on. But perhaps now it's time to introduce you to again for the people who hasn't been here. So please welcome.
Mm-hmm. It's always interesting where to start, because if you have lived long life, then you have quite many experiences, and if someone asks who you are, then you start thinking, who am I? But let's take by facts, then it's more easier maybe. From the background, I have been born in Estonia, in Tallinn, and lived in Estonia all of my life. And I have been raised up with a normal family, nothing special. Of course, every family is special, but I would say normal family. We have the mother, father. I have two younger sisters, and I grew up. I went to school. Common things, nothing special, I would say. But I have been an entrepreneur from all my life. I was really young when I actually did my first company. I was only 19, and it was then 90s in Estonia, and actually there was no experiences how to do business or how to do something what is, to create yourself. And it was really interesting for me. I had no clue how it's done, because I didn't have anyone else who have done it before, so I just jumped in, I would say. And I was really, it was fascinating for me. It drove me because it was interesting, and so on. So I have been an entrepreneur all my life. And when I met my husband over 20 years ago, then we decided that, okay, now we have tried all kinds of things, but let's do something professionally. Let's do it together, and we really are a good team. And then we built up a company which really handled well. We were quite successful, and in one point I saw that I did it all what I wanted to do. And then I saw that we needed a change. And I actually had a small, I would say, it wasn't even a dream, but idea that I built up something really nice, and someone bigger would be interested of that. So we found actually one German company who wanted to buy our business. And I continued working there as well. And I was working there for 4 years, I suppose. And I really liked what I did. And I was total workaholic, I would say. So I ended up overworking, heavily overworking, and only because I really liked my job. And then in one point I saw that I really need to change my life, because it was impossible to work more. Even probably if I would have more time in a day, I would even work more. And but yeah, then in one point I realized that it's too much. I need change. And then I was I didn't know exactly what was the change what I needed, but I knew I have to do something about it. In parallel, actually, I have been from the childhood. I have been interested all kind of how would say it? I would say parallel world, strange things what people don't talk about it, or maybe psychic things or esoteric things, and it has been fascinating me. I think I read all the books what is possible in Estonia, and I kind of knew people who deal with the things, who deal with the self-development, with the yoga and so on, but I didn't have any experience myself. I didn't go somewhere. But then I started with Kundalini yoga, just actually starting with the Hatha yoga practices, and I did Reiki as well, and I really like this experience of what I had. But yeah, then 2013 I realized that I need a change, and as I mentioned, I didn't know what is the change I need, and I kind of stopped. I knew Ingvar Villido then, not personally, but I knew him. I had followed his speeches for years already, but I didn't know him personally. But what I did was like, okay, I stopped and I thought, okay, what I will do now, where I go, what changes I will make, and I didn't have a clue what to do, but I knew that I have to go to his course. And that was actually my one choice only. I didn't have any comparable choices. And then I went there. And the first day changed everything. So that was exactly what I needed. The first day, if I'm speaking about this today, course name is Practical Consciousness, and back then it was a different name, Art of Conscious Change in Estonia, and that actually changed everything. Yesterday I briefly spoke about the aha moments what I had, and it was really life-changing, I would say. And after that, actually, changes were really quick. I made the first and second course, then in the row, third, fourth, fifth, everything in the row, and then also started the Kriya Yoga studies and so on. So basically, I found my way out, I would say, from the situation what I had. But the biggest change what I had was that I realized what I needed, because that's what Ingvar teaches is to release things from your life, or get rid of the things what you have collected. Not the physical things, because we do have too many things in a material world as well in an inner world. Because if you grow up, you collect, all the time you want something more and more. And I was pretty sure that I had it all, and I really had. And I realized, okay, now I have to clean it up. So what I did, I took package of one-pagers and write down everything what needed to change in my life. Everything. I didn't miss anything. And the main point was that I was really honest to myself. Because no one read it, what I wrote there. And I was really honest. From the minor things, and write it down, everything. what I didn't need it in my life and what I needed to change. And I made the list, and then I started to change these things. And it took 2 years to change everything what I wanted to change. And I have been making jokes that 2 things remained: my husband and my home. So everything else I changed.
Well, that's a very interesting beginning of the story. When you made that list, what need to be changed, did you have a clear picture in your mind that what will be, how those life will be, what you want to have if you don't, if you will change your life? Did you have some clear picture what it will be there instead of those old things? Yeah,
actually, how I did it, I didn't know back then how I did it, but now I know that I looked all aspects in life what I had, and I looked, does these things have perspectives in life? For example, I had a really nice working place, high salary, everything was perfect. You know, for other people, maybe the dream work and everything. But then I looked, do I see myself working there in 10 years? And the answer was no. So, but why I'm working there today if I don't see the perspective? And then I decided that I will quit that job. I didn't quit it right away, but yeah, I actually took everything from the perspective. And things what didn't have perspective, I closed, finished, or ended.
Yeah, this is an interesting way, because I'm just thinking that most of people probably can see that do they like that job or something, and can they see themselves after 10 years? Probably many people will see that okay, they doesn't like that work, but they still are there because they doesn't have no clue that what could be something else. How do you replace those? What would be those things? And people, if I'm right, people quite often make plans that what they want to have instead of that old things. But you didn't have a specific picture, but you was changing your life. Or did I understood right?
What I did, I didn't do it at the same time, that closing old things and doing new things. I was only focusing closing things, because I wanted to clean maximum to be open for the new things, and it came. But the things what you mentioned is that people don't dare to even think about changes. To think about, okay, what happens if I quit my job? Okay, I have no money, I have no respect from others because I have titles, I am someone. But actually this is, that's not true. And that's why people don't dare to change the work. For example, so many people say that, okay, if I would have a lot of money, then I would quit my job and start my business or doing something else, you know. But they don't dare to do that.
Yeah, this subject is quite familiar to me, because when I was younger, I was quite often thinking about my life, that, okay, do I want to be in this kind of situation? And then I thought that, do I have courage to jump to the stream and without knowing that does it kill me or not? So that jumping in the stream is a metaphor for that you just jumping something new and you don't have a security inside of your heart because you don't know what happens. People try to feel all the time secure in that way, that they have something else until they jump and so on. But I did it like you did when I was younger, and I just see that maybe this stream will hold you and take you safely to another place.
Yeah, but in my case, then I did all these changes after I had go to the path of the practical consciousness, because I had this this technique supported me. I knew that what is holding me back is my emotions or my thought patterns, and I had now I had techniques which supported these changes what I made.
Yes.
So there is nothing, I don't dare or I hesitate, because you can release these hesitations and everything. And that's why I was really, other thought, okay, what's going on now? You know, okay, you do so many changes in one time, but it ended up really nicely, and I'm really grateful to myself that I dared to do that, and of course I'm grateful that I found the path.
So if we're thinking about this kind of inner visions what we might have during our lifetime, they probably coming through the intuition, and when we hear that intuition bell is calling to us, we should follow it, or how do you think?
Yes, I'm 100% sure. Today we had a nice talk to you also near the lake about this intuition, and everyone has it. And this is one of the qualities of the consciousness. And some people use it more, some people use it less. But if you start to use it more, then it open up for you as well. So, but sometimes people mix up the intuition and the gut feeling, that I have feeling that it's not bad or it's good, you know, but these are different things as well. But if you ask from the intuition, then it really have helped me a lot in my life.
But as you mentioned that it's important to make difference from those gut feelings and what is true intuition, because our ego might say some words to us as well sometimes when it wants something. Or what do you think?
Yeah, the gut feeling is actually the secondary thing. The first thing is intuition. The first glimpse of knowing, actually. And the gut feeling is like you can feel it in your body, but this is the secondary. It's not the first one. And people sometimes don't make the difference between them. But it's good to know. And that's exactly one thing, but we also teach.
Well, you came here with Kelly Lintula, and she told in her story that she have had a major car crash, and I think this is also uniting you and her. You have had that kind of as well. Do I remember right?
You mean the car crash? Actually, it was a funny story that when we had this recording in Lilleoru, then I hadn't heard her story from that side, and she hasn't heard my story from that side. And there's, okay, you have a similar one. So, okay, yeah, things happen. Yes.
But what do you think that did this car crash change your life somehow? Was it some kind of turning point in your life?
For me, it definitely was. Back then I didn't realize it, but in the recording I also speak about it, but I can briefly talk about it, because I had a major car crash. It was 20-something years ago, maybe 24, 25 years ago, and car was totally, there was nothing left actually. And I was okay. I had some marks, but I was okay. And then it was a not funny thing happened, but strange thing happened, that I fall into the depression for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something, and I didn't realize what it is or how it is or what happened or. And I didn't realize why I'm depressed. I was totally depressed. I was at home alone, didn't talk to anyone, didn't do anything, just closing in. And then I realized that I didn't understood why I stayed alive, because it was not logical. And I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, and then I just got the insight. Okay. You have a task. You are needed. You have a task in this life. And then I said, okay. And then I started to find that one, what it is. And I can say that I was, all the time I was looking for that or panically, but it was something, in your shoulder or in the back that this is something that you need to find. And that was something that drive me. Or try me next 20 years something.
Yes, I understand. Did you feel that? Did you talk that somebody actually was protecting you in the car crash? That some guardian angel or something? Did you feel anything like that? Did you talk?
Absolutely, because otherwise it had no sense at all. So of course back then I didn't realize that, but in the time of this depression, what I said, that was only logical thing. And actually that was the second car crash. I had I had an accident with a car when I was, I suppose, maybe in the first grade when I went to school, and my dad, every morning my dad dropped me at school, and normally he drive near the school, so I didn't needed to go over some street or something. But one morning he left me somewhere, not in the school yard, but a little
far away.
Far away, yeah. And then I was just jumping out of the car and just running, and it was just he somehow jumped out the car and saw me and just pushed me away from the car who was running. He would run me over, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had some, and then I already knew. Okay, there is someone is guarding me. Of course, it was my father as well, but someone was watching and guarding and guiding and
using your father to save you.
Yeah, and my father did the same. Yeah.
Well, this is what I think that quite many people have this kind of experience, that somebody is helping them, somebody's guarding them, and people might even feel those presence sometimes, that there is something what they cannot see, and it has been protecting themselves in some kind of crisis or accidents and so on. But anyway, so then you meet this Ingvar. How did it happen?
I met him personally when I went to the course, and back then the course was, there was about 250 people in the course. It was really large number.
Much.
Yeah, it's really 250 in my first course, and it was
all
a
Estonians?
Big hall. Sorry?
Estonians?
Estonians, yes, I don't know whether they had that time translation, maybe they had, but yeah, it was really popular, and it's popular today as well. And it's 2 full day and 2.5 day course. And the first day, I think it was maybe 2 breaks, coffee breaks between, and then it's 250 people were sitting there and listening and everything. And when a coffee break was held, then he just walked through, you know, people just walking and drinking coffee and having some time off, and he was just walking like beside me, or you know, and but my first impression was that person who is totally balanced. I didn't know how to describe it, but this was today. I know that was that. Totally balanced. You can see it, you can feel it, and the way he teaches people, you know, nothing disturbs him, nothing. Because especially in the first day, people are, you know, talking, questioning a lot, and so on. But he was so calm, so cool, so clear answers to everything. I was just, okay, that was so cool for me, I would say. Yeah, and this was my first impression when I personally met him.
So what kind of situation in your life was in that moment going on? Did you have some crisis, or why did you wanted to go there in the first place? Did you try to find some answers, or what was your first thought why you want to go there and meet him? As I told that, I knew exactly that I needed some change. I actually didn't know what change I needed, because if I knew that, I would do that anyway.
So I know that I kind of hesitated to go there in the course because there was not much information about it. As today we have a lot of information, we have a book and so on. But then there was not information, but I just knew I need to go there. And I didn't know exactly what was the change, what I needed. But yeah.
It was that it was not anyone else like some other people Estonian who are teaching, but it was Ingvar. Why Ingvar? What was calling you to there?
It's hard to say. As I mentioned, that I knew everyone who in Estonia is a small country, you know, and I have read everything. I knew everyone who actually dealt with some kind of self-development things or helping others or doing yoga or something. I knew them all, not personally, but I knew what was going on. And then when I decided that okay, now I need to stop, I need some change, then I just looked where to go or what to do, and I didn't even analyze anything. I just knew there is only one, and he was the one where I need to go and where I will. I didn't know that I will continue learning or studying with him. I was just. I saw that that's not a big risk, you know, to go to the course and let's see what happens. But yeah, there was no other options for me. It was just one option.
Okay, that inner calling was that
exactly
strong.
Yeah.
This is interesting because when I visited there is lots of people who has participate. Example, to build this Lilleoru schoolhouse, and there has been many people, and people try usual. What I know, in example of Finnish people, they traveling somewhere in India and they try to find gurus from there and so on. You was lucky one. You didn't have to travel so far. So, but when you think about in present day that now you are part of that association and you are taking care of this, how to put this movement to the abroad and so on, or is it like that?
Yeah, I come back to what you mentioned about India and finding gurus.
Okay.
Actually, it was a good thing, but also it was maybe 7 years ago or something. I happened to go to India. It happened because we didn't plan to go there, and we planned to go to Bali. And my husband said, oh, look at if we just drop to India, it only costs 50 euros. Let's go there as well. Okay, why not? But it's a long story, but make it really, really short. And then we met there all kind of different people and so on, and some Indian astrology guy as well. And I don't know why I asked, or I asked something like, maybe about how to find guru or where I could find guru or something like that. And he said, you have a guru, why you're here? It was so simple. Said, okay, how he knows that? Yeah, but this is about India. But yeah, the thing what we do in Lilleoru, actually this is one big step in the path as well. I started with practical consciousness courses, then go to Kriya Yoga, and then in one point I did, as I mentioned, in 2 years I actually did all the changes what needed to do, and my life totally changed. And in one point I changed everything. My life was really, really nice. Everything was smooth. I had so much free time for myself. I watched all the TVs, all the movies. I read all the books. I traveled all the countries. And still I had free time. And then I saw, okay, I was 40-something, and that, okay, what to do? Half of the life is over, half of life is ahead. It's good to do something useful. And then I thought, okay, what to do? I had two options: whether I go somewhere to run some business or something. It was one of the options, and another one was to go volunteering to Lilleorusta. And at that time I had clear vision that if I go to work for someone, then I will do it with a really heavy salary. And no one wanted to hire me, and it was really, really good because that's how I ended up going to volunteering to Lilleorusta. And then I going to volunteering there and also become a member of Lilleorusta. It was over 3 years ago for now, and I said what I can do, what experiences I had, and I asked, do you need any help? I have time. I could do something if it's needed. And then they said we would need money. Would you run the fundraising? And I said, okay. What do I know about fundraising? I didn't know anything. But okay. I said, okay, but let's find out how to do it. And then we started to build it up, and it's going really, really nicely. Quite many things what we have developed in Lilleorusta with this fundraising possibilities. And that's how I ended up there. And then I started to contribute more and more and more. People saw what I can do. There were quite new projects coming in. And in one point, Ingvar said that we should go to the world with this teaching because we have done it already quite many years. It helps, it really helps people, and we need to share it abroad as well. And I was from the business sector, but as well I had worked with third sector, with the foundation and the association. So I basically knew how to do it. And then I described how to do it. I knew immediately because today as well I also work for the Stockholm Environmental Institute, which is also a global organization and really, really nice one and really good mission-based organization. And I just know how to do it, or this I had an experience to support with.
Yeah.
And then we started to build it up, and that's what we do. And at the moment, this is one of my tasks to bring the teaching to abroad. And at the moment, to Finland.
Yes, yes. Well, if you think about just a regular person who hasn't been so interested of spirituality, how these methods what Ingvar is teaching can help for those who are not so spiritual, but is there something what they can get from?
Yes, it is actually this method, what we call practical consciousness. It is for everyone. It's not. It doesn't require anything. You don't need to be prepared. Sometimes people ask, I don't know, I need to do that, or read something, or do something, or lose weight, or do whatever, you know, to start changing your life. But actually you are always ready. And because everyone has some issue, some troubles, you know, and they are 100% related to the emotions. And if you could imagine, if you don't have emotion, what you chronically use, how easy your life would be. So it doesn't actually matter, are you accountant, or you are, I don't know, maybe cleaning lady, or whoever, you know, or a boss of the big company. Everyone has it. And it would really, really helps you, eases your life. And so there is no need for any spirituality, I don't know, even background or in the interest. Just normal people with normal troubles, and you can easily create clarity in your life and just ease your life.
So maybe that is also the reason why it has been growth, that movement in that much, and because it's when sometimes when you have some movements and you have to be certain kind, have to certain qualities, you have to have a shirt and workview and so on. It's actually put this. It's reducing that amount of people who actually can participate it and who actually want to participate it. Maybe that is also one reason why it has been grown, because it doesn't matter are you cash register or business leader or whatever, or what kind of work you might have.
Exactly, and Ingvar had talked about it, that it took years for him actually to change this teaching so easy, so that everyone would be able to use these techniques. And it's so easy, and it's quick, and it has an effect. But one thing that we additionally today building up or developing is that we know that especially the pandemic time, what we have had now a few years and so on, so quite many organizations and companies have suffered of that, because the people are overworked, stressed, work and life balance is not balanced anymore and so on. So step by step, what we're also doing to offer this teaching to the organization, to go to the organization and help them as well. And we already have some pilot projects where we have stepped in, and it's really, for me personally, it's really interesting to work with the teams and to see actually the real results, because everyone is people. It doesn't matter you're a researcher or you are accountant, what I mentioned here. So everyone has something, and can you imagine that you have a team, maybe let's say 10 people, and they all can release emotions? Can you imagine what the meetings could be? Totally different, easy to work with, more efficiency, more balance, and so on. So it's really something.
Yes. What would you like to tell about this movement until we are inviting Kelly here to have a discuss? What you would like to share or tell?
I would say first, I'm really grateful that I'm in this movement, that I found this path. It really helps. It's practical, and I would urge that if anyone hesitates whether to take a peek or to step in or being interested, then just contact us, and maybe if anyone has some networking ideas, even not knowing the thing itself, so just contact us and let's see what we can do. At the moment we are entering in quite many countries. We have initiative groups organically grown. We haven't done it like business, okay, let's go there or there or there. But we do have international students who have been studying with Ingvar quite long time, and they said we need to bring this teaching also to our countries, because we know it helps. So now we're entering 7-8 countries at the moment, and more to come. So we are open. If anyone is interested, just take a contact and let's see what we can do.
Yes. So perhaps now we are taking a short break, and after break Kelly Lintula will join us. Perhaps you can put us to the break. You can open microphones and then... Tervetuloa takaisin tauolta. Pieni hetki pitää laittaa toi kuulokkeiden mikrofoni.
Teillä onko Apple kotus vai?
Mulla Mac.
Lainaan sille romuttuisi jopa kohan kättä. Onko sitä arvontaa
Ate kõigepealt jah?
Ma vaatan, tuleeko see arvonta-asia? Niin.
Joo, eli jatketaan tosiaan nyt. Meillä on tässä mukana keskustelussa nyt myöskin Kelly Lintula ja minulla on tarkoitus hieman tentata heitä tavallaan niistä asioista, että mitä kaikkea tähän maailmankuvaan kuuluu, jota tavallaan nämä Ingvarin opetukset pitää sisällään. Eli Ingvariahan pidetään Virossa oppilaiden keskuudessa sidhana ja sitten taas toisaalta tämä tämmöinen traditiollinen viitekehys on sitten myöskin tätä sivalaisuutta ja mitä kaikkea siihen liittyykään, niin näitä asioita meinaan kysellä vähän tarkemmin ja katsotaan minkälaisia vastauksia meidän vieraat näistä löytyy. Selvä, aloitetaan Kelly sinusta, mutta joudun näköjään vaihtamaan pikkasen tätä. When you change that, have to change also cameras. Joo, eli Kelly, sinä niin olet yksi näistä, jotka toimii täällä Lilleorussa ja mä olisin halunnutkin vähän tiedustella, että niin mikä on se tavallaan maailmankuvallinen viitekehys. Tiedetään, että te oppilaat puhutte siitä, että hän on niin kuin sidha. Mitä se sidha oikeastaan tarkoittaa? Mitä sä osaat meille kertoa siitä?
Kun nyt puhutaan niistä ensimmäisistä 18 sidasta, jotka tutkisivat niin kuin koko maailman niin kuin läpikotaisin, että mitä täällä on. Ja he sitten kirjoittivat ylös, mitä he olivat havainneet. Ja tietenkin he ovat täydellisyydessä, he ovat samadissa, mutta tässä on se poikkeama, mikä tekee sitasta sitan, että he ovat kyllä niin kuin palannut takaisin alkulähteeseen, mutta he ovat tulleet takaisin ja he ovat täällä niin kuin jakamassa tätä tietoa, ei niin kuin kasvatusten, mutta pikkasen toisella tavalla, että he ovat kuitenkin läsnä.
Eli tässä on kuitenkin jonkin verran viitteitä myöskin tähän bodhisattvaan, koska bodhisattvassa lupauksessahan nimenomaan tavallaan siinä ei palata alkulähteeseen, mutta palataan tänne ihmiskunnan keskuuteen ja auttamaan näitä ihmisiä. Eli tässä on jotain yhteneväisyyttä, mutta ei sitten ihan kuitenkaan sillä sanaa. Voitko kertoa näistä 18 sidasta, eli minkälaisia, ne on niin kuin tavallaan täydellisyyteen päässeitä henkilöitä. Onko nämä jotain henkilöitä, jotka on joskus elänyt maan päällä vai miten se näet sen?
Joo, siitä 18 sidasta on niin kuin erillinen kirjakin mulla on siellä. Mä voisin sen hakea sen kyllä viroksi. Se on Marshall Covindanin kirjoittama kirja ja sitten me Lilleorussa sen sitten käännetty viroksi. Ja siellä on pitempiä tarinoita, niin kuin, ei ihan kaikista, mutta niistä vaikutusvaltaisimmasta. Eli esimerkiksi se akastia, joka on sitä tradition niin kuin alullepanija. Eli hän oli se ensimmäinen. Ja tietenkin sitä elivät niin kuin tuhansia vuosia ja 10 000 vuotta sanotaan akastiarin osalta, että miten he sitten pitensivät niin kuin omaa elinikää ja siinä oli omat niin kuin tekniikat ja kajakalppaan käytössä. Eli he niin kuin tiesivät niin kuin kaikkea. He kirjoittivat ylös myös kaikki sairaudet, mitä maan päällä löytyi ja kaikki hoidot näihin. Eli sitälainen lääketiede on ihan käytössä nykypäivänäkin Intiassa, että sitä voi oppia yliopistolla.
Joo. Koska mä oon tämmöinen tietämätön näissä asioissa, niin mä tietysti kysyn sitten myöskin, että mitä tekemistä, onko sivalaisuudella tai sivalla ja sidhoilla jotain tekemistä keskenään, liittyykö nämä toisiinsa?
Sitä traditiossa ja joogassa ylipäätänsä se, joka on niin kuin alussa siellä, johon me kaikki halutaan palata.
Alkulähde.
Alkulähde, että sitä sanotaan sivaksi.
Okay.
Eli, mutta siva-traditio on jotakin toisenlaista, muistaakseni, kun nyt muistan tarkasti, että sitä traditio on niin kuin erilaista verrattuna siva. Niin kuin oman, jos menee niin kuin Intiaan, voi niin kuin joissakin kohtiin havaita sellaisia henkilöitä, jotka on täysin niin kuin nakuna, heillä niin kuin tukka suoraan melkein pystyssä ja heitä on ihon, niin kuin, ihon päällä sitä mikä tämä on? Poltettujen puiden tämä tuhka, joo. Että he ovat ihan harmaita. Et se on muistaakseni se siiva-traditio, mitä se niinku eri polku. Mä en tunne sitä, mutta vain hieman osaan niinku kertoa tästä nyt.
Kyllä. Nämä on varmasti niin sellaisia haasteellisia asioita. Lähinnä kiinnostaa sen takia, koska olen kuitenkin nähnyt tavallaan sen, että siellä näissä Ingvarin luentosarjoissa niin taustalla on semmoinen kangas, jossa lukee tavallaan näitä tämmöisiä sivatraditioita ja muuta. Että mietin, että millä tavalla se liittyy sitten näihin opetuksiin, jota sitten niin kun, tuolla Lilleorussa annetaan, että liittyykö ne oikeastaan jotenkin? Haluatko, do you want to answer that is this teachings of Shiva or Siddha things teached in Lilleoru? Do you want to answer?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I can. I just when Kelly spoke about it now, I just wanted to mention that I know that you are participating, and we have a special lecture series called Path of Wisdom, where Ingvar really nicely and deeply and at the same time so easily explain everything about Siddha tradition, about the background, about the Shiva, everything what he has discovered. And actually what he did, he discovered many things, what is the base actually also to the practical consciousness, what he teaches additionally to the Kriya Yoga, that he found out that he just tried to find out, is there anyone who have also searched the same thing? And then he saw that this is Siddha tradition. Siddhas have discovered the same things what he did. And then he realized that, okay, this is what he does, the same what Siddhas have done before. So that's where the connection is. And of course, Kriya Yoga is can't say invented, but it's the source is Siddha tradition as well. So there's a connection. But yeah, I think the best way to get to know about it is a path of wisdom. We have specially made that, and I'm also doing the kind of producer work behind it. So actually, next series is next week already on Wednesday, and this time we will have a topic about child and the parent common path in the development as a human. So how to do it, and it will be interesting as well.
So basically, it is a kind of philosophy behind of practical consciousness, these Siddhartha traditions.
It's not a philosophy. This is really clear because the Siddha tradition is really practical, and this is something this is the base of everything what Ingvar teaches. Everything should be practical. There's no philosophy. There is no just thinking about things, but everything is practical. Everything you can experience yourself, and the way how he teaches us. There's nothing that I tell you and you have to believe it. Nothing. He actually says, don't believe anything what I say. Experience it and deepen yourself. What he urges us to do, deepen yourself, find answers and see what it is. Because sometimes if I know that he knows, and then I sometimes ask something to get a shortcut, and then he doesn't give you answer, but he urges you to search, to practice, do that, and then tell me what you discovered. This is how he teaches us. So there will be no shortcuts or, I tell you that, believe that, and go with that way. There is nothing. Everything is pure practical.
So, if we're talking about these Siddhartha traditions, what is siddhis? What it means?
Siddhis are extraordinary powers, I would say. Extraordinary. What is extraordinary? Everything what is not ordinary. So I know that many people are interested, to make a kind of shortcut. How I could be, it's fascinating, it's interesting. How some people can do more things, and it's interesting, I think. But yes, siddhis are extraordinary powers.
Are they powers, or are they some skills, or
abilities to do extraordinary things?
Example.
Kelly, to recall example. I know that there is there's at least eight superpowers, and but I'm not an expert, so it's better not to talk about things what you are not expert of.
No Kelly, mitä sä ajattelet näistä siddheistä, eli näistä erityisistä kyvyistä? Oletko sinä saanut kokea esimerkiksi tuolla Lilleorussa, että tavallaan näitä tällaisia extraordinary kykyjä, eli tämmöisiä, oletko sä nähnyt niitä tai kokenut niitä jollain tavalla?
No Kriya Babaji joogan kolmannella initiaatiolla on sellaisia tekniikoita, mitä me opitaan, jossa me tehdään ihan ensimmäisiä kokeiluja, miten voisi selvä kuuntelu ja selvä näkö toimii. Et siinä me tehdään ihan tarkkoja harjoituksia, ne on aika vitsikkäitä, mutta myöhemmin tulee naurettu tosi kovasti, mitä kukin näki. Et siihen on aika paljon sitä mentaalisuutta ja omaa sellaista emotionaalista ja tunnepitoista sontaa tulee häiritsemään ja sekoittamaan sitä kuvaa, ja sulla oikeasti pitää olla se fokus tosi tarkasti ja pysyä paikoillaan, jotta sä ylipäätään pystyisit jotakin katsomaan tai havaitsemaan, että sekin on jo oma kykynsä itsessään pitää fokusta paikoillaan.
Kyllä, kyllä. Miten sitten, jos puhutaan nyt vaikka Ingvarista, niin onko Ingvar jollain tavalla osoittanut ja näyttänyt näitä tämmöisiä sidin kykyjä oppilaiden läsnäolossa? Kuitenkin hänestä puhutaan sidhana, niin jostahan ne puheetkin kumpuaa.
Joo, ei tämä kaikki niin kuin tyhjästä tule ja totta kai hän on siellä alkulähteellä ja hän on samadissa ja hän on kuitenkin kanssamme ja hänellä on oma missio, miksi hän on täällä kanssamme. Eli hänellä on niin kuin oma tehtävä, että hän ei ole niin kuin ihan vaan syntynyt karmillisista syistä, vaan hän on vaan syntynyt tietystä syystä.
Niin, ehkä se yksi syy tietenkin on tämä Lilleorun perustaminen ja tämän liikkeen perustaminen ja niin edelleen. Tiedän vaan tavallaan suomalaisista, että ne on hyvinkin kiinnostuneita kaikista sellaisista, missä voidaan oppia jotain niin kuin erityisiä niin kuin vaikka yliluonnolliseksi laskettavia kykyjä tavallaan. Oli puheessa sitten niin kuin selväkuuloisuudesta, selvänäköisyydestä ja niin edelleen. Eli tässä vaan mietin sitä, että minkälaisia mahdollisuuksia näiden kykyjen oppimiseen niin kuin tämä tekniikka, jota opetatte, niin antaa sitten näihin tällaisiin kykyihin.
Opettaja on meille korostanut sellaista asiaa, että sun kehityksen myötä sinulla alkaa ilmestymään tietoja ja sä tulet saamaan tietoja, mutta sen täysin sivuseikka siihen nähden, mikä sun oikea tavoite on. Ja hän on varoittanut meitä, että jos sä menet niiden kykyjesi sitien ansaan, silloin sun melkein sä oot menettänyt tämän elämän ja tämän tavoitteen, joka on oikeasti se oikea tavoite on vapautua tästä elämän ja kuoleman kierroksesta ja palata takaisin samatiin. Eli siinä mielessä mä en varsinaisesti kiinnittää siihen enää huomiota. Se ei ole minulla ainakaan tärkeää. Että jos jotakin joskus pitäisi ehkä, tai tulee aukeamaan sillä lailla, että vois sanoa, että joo, mulla on se kyky. Mutta opettaja on myös sanonut näin, että se kyky on sinulla vasta silloin, kun hän tosiasiassa vakuuttaa, että joo, sulla on se, eikä silloin, kun sä itse sanot, että mulla nyt on se. Että silloin se on joku ekon juttu, että me ihan kaikin puolin, kaikki mikä ekosta lähtöisin tunteista ja ajatuksista, että nyt minä olen se ja nyt mä halusin olla se ja mä halusin tehdä sitä, jos se ekosta lähtöisin, silloin se varmasti täytyy siivota.
Onko Ingvar, teidän opettaja, koskaan puhunut näistä ihmisistä, jotka syntyy jonkin erityisen kyvyn kanssa? Miksi näin tapahtuu? Onko tästä ollut puhetta näissä opetuksissa, koska heitäkin tuntuu olevan?
No ehkä Heidi sitten vastaa vähän tarkemmin, mutta hän on vain mainitsenut, että jos jollakin henkilöllä on tietynlaisia kykyjä jo syntyessä, silloin hän on ihan varmasti harjoitellut näitä asioita ja ollut tekemisissä näiden asioiden parissa jo aikaisemmissa elämissä, että se ei tule ihan tyhjästä.
Do you have something to add for this, Heidi?
I would add that one. I totally agree with Kelly that the first things what everyone should do, live normal life, cleaning your inner world from everything what you have collected, what we call ego as well. So, and not jumping over the shadows, because it's impossible just to go, okay, it's interesting, I would be, I don't know, psychic, I want to see something special and so on, but what will you do with that, So the first thing, and this is how we have taught and what we do, first thing you deal with your inner world, cleaning it, and everything what is reachable for you or accessible for you opens up. And you don't need to push something special for that. You just do your thing and things open up for you. And that's the way. But of course, it's not. It's a lot to be curious, to rethink, to study, to listen, to ask questions, and it's always good. As Ingvar said, that ask questions if you have anything. If you have questions, it means that you practice. So ask questions, take part of things, and this way you can develop yourself, or get a clue how to go or where to go and so on. But what about the people with extraordinary powers or abilities, or sometimes people will born with that, or sometimes from the lighting people just get something and so on. But that's not the path we are going. We are normal people. We have this teaching which opens up for common people to be able to develop yourself in the natural way to reach highest goal. What we even don't know what it is, but we are in the path and we go with this path. And it's more than enough, because it's there are so many things what you learn and what you can get in the past. So it's more than for the many years. So, or the many lives, I would say.
Ja Kelly, mitä teidän opettaja on opettanut teille jälleen syntymisestä ja tämmöisestä ikuisesta elämästä ja muusta? Kuuluuko ne teidän ajatusmaailmaan jollain tavalla?
Hän on kertonut karmasta ja miten karmisista syistä me synnytään uudestaan. Hän on kertonut siitä kierroksesta, mitä yleensä ihmiset tekevät. Että kun ihminen lähtee tästä maailmasta, silloin, mä teen ihan lyhyesti, että silloin sellaiset karmiset tuulet, niin kuin ihan kuin hänellä on joku aika, jolloin hän on omissa tunnemaailmassa, tai he voivat jäädä kiinni johonkin unimaailman, tai niitä paikkoja erilaiset, mihin he voivat päätyä kuolemansa jälkeen, mutta on tietty jakso, jolloin he ovat siellä. Silloin he niin sanotusti tulevat luojan kasvojen eteen, jossa tapahtuu niin sanotusti valaistuminen, eli se tarkoittaa, että heidän menneisyyden muistiin leimataan kiinni, ja sen jälkeen karmiset tuulet vievät tämän henken, vievät sellaisen syntymän, sellaisen paikan, jossa hän tulee oppimaan ne karmiset seuraukset muilta ympärillä olevilta ihmisiltä. Eli hän oppii sisällään sen karman, mikä hänelle oli edellisessä elämän päättyessä, ja hän oppii sen uudestaan sitten uudessa elämässä.
Mitä teille on opetettu sitten entisten elämien merkityksestä nykypäivänä? Onko nämä entisillä elämillä jotain merkitystä nykypäivän todellisuuteen, kumpi tahansa?
Emme tutki näitä ollenkaan. Se on täysin epäoleellista. Tiedämme vaan, että se karminen asia, mikä tulee niin kuin pöydällemme tänään, me hoidetaan se ja meillä on ne tekniikat, me vapautetaan ne tunteet ja tarpeettomat ajatukset siitä ja se ratkee. Se ongelma ratkee tosi nopeasti. Eli siinä mielessä, että me pystytään niin kuin tämän elämän aikana niin kuin käymään aika paljon asioita läpi.
Eli jos ajatellaan, että ollaan eletty aikaisemmin ja on tehty jotain väärää ja se tulee tähän elämään niin sanotusti maksettavaksi, niin näillä menetelmillä ikään kuin pyyhitään se historia pois, vai käsitinkö oikein?
Joo, jos sä synnyt perheeseen, jossa sulle opetetaan vihamielisyyttä ja turhautumista ja sellaista, sulla on sellainen reagoimistyyli koko elämä, siis sitten sulla on niiden tekniikoiden avulla mahdollisuus päästä eroon niistä ja sä et reagoi enää näin ja sä et aihetta seurauksia. Aina kun sä käytät sitä vihamielisyyttä, sähän luot jotakin tähän maailmaan ja sen se seuraus, mikä vaikuttaa tähän maailmaan. Ja sen se karminen seuraus, jonka takia sä ehkä joutut syntymään uudestaan, jos sen niin kuin sellaista.
Heidi, do you have some thoughts what it's take from the people that they doesn't have to rebirth the earth again?
I don't have knowledge about it, so it's over my competence, I would say. But what I would add to what just Kelly said, that Ingvar teaches us that, of course, we have had past lives, but we don't deal with that. We don't work with that. And he says that past lives are memory, and people are enough engaged with this life. So deal with this life and not deal with past lives, because it's too much. And too much you need to do here, be practical, and don't do things but you over your abilities. So be practical, and that's the best you can do.
Well, I think it's good advice to be practical, and sometimes people think that it is practical for them that if they understand their past, they know what is the present day. I don't know, maybe it's also one practical thing, but it's probably not something what has been taught to you by Ingvar. Or is it so?
Yeah, actually the law of karma is universal. So I would say what I do with this knowledge is that if something not pleasant comes to my life, then of course it's karmic, even good things are karmic. And then for me it's so easy to handle it, because I know that I know how to handle it because I have these techniques, but also I know that I will not resist it, or I will not fight it, or because it's a sign that I have been doing something what's now hitting me, and you take it more easier, if you have this understanding. And if you understand the law of karma, then most of the cases you say, okay, well done. Now it's here, I can deal with that, and this chapter in my life is over. So, and this is practical as well, to take it more easily.
Yes, indeed. And I'm just asking those questions because Most of those spiritual seekers are seeing and being asked about their past lives, about what they think about is there a karma, is there a rebirthing, what is the meaning of them and so on. That everybody sometimes face those questions and try to find answers also to those questions. And one of those questions which drives many people has been that is there some kind of manuscript what has been written until you came to the earth and gave birth? Is this life kind of a planet in forehand? What do you think?
I can't say that I have some thought about it or knowledge about it. But if you ask that, have you heard about the Nadi readings or the Nadis written to the people?
Please tell us.
Yeah, so this is something tradition from India. So the sage Agastya or the Mahasiddha Agastya have written thousands of years ago nadis to the palm leaves, to the people who will come to read them. This means that I have been doing that. That's why I can share it with you. And I read my nadis, and what it means. If you read your nadis, you can. This opens up one of your karmic lives. And that's how you will more understand why do you have life what you have, or why do you have these obstacles in life what you have. And for me, it was sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't want to know anything about my past or my future." But for me, it was really relieving. I understood why do I have some obstacles in my life. And then also in these Nadi readings, you will get to know about one of your past lives, your karmic burden, and you will get predictions or perspective of your life. If you do good deeds, and also you will get remedies, procedures, how to overcome difficulties in life. And this way, he and the Siddha tradition also supports actually people who find the information about this nadis. So yeah, I have been done it, and I'm really lucky that I have been doing that. So it really opened up. It was not only interesting, but it was practical. It really helped me, gave me some good directions how to move on with their life, and so that's why it's practical as well. But this is one of the ways.
Yes. I guess now I have asked all most common questions for every spiritual seeker, so we can proceed this. I mean, change the subject. If we thinking about those studies, what you have been learned, what is most important for you and then for Kelly?
You mean most important things what I have learned?
Yes,
or?
From those studies.
Yeah, most important thing is that you have all the abilities. You have you have all possibilities. You have all abilities if you just want to deal with these things. You are like, the powerful is not the right word, because it gives, it's not ego powerful, but it's you can. There's so many options what you can do in life, and you have all options. It doesn't matter how old you are. Are you a man or woman or whatever background you have? So we have all possibilities. There's no obstacles if you just do the right thing.
Kelly, mitä sinä ajattelet?
Eli mikä on tärkeintä tässä opetuksessa?
Kyllä. Sinulle henkilökohtaisesti tähän asti sitä opetusta.
Varmaan todellisen minän havaitseminen. Ja parhaillaan niin pidän tärkeänä sitä, että niin, että olisin niin jatkuvasti tietoisuudessa ja todellisessa minässä ja sen, miten ne hetket, kun mä olen niin jatkuvasti, no mä oon aika paljon nykyään tietoisuudessa, että toimintaa menee ilman ajatuksia ja silloin se tapahtuu siinä hetkenä ja on tosi helppoa. Ja todellisessa minässä toimiminen päivittäin, sen voi niinku integroida niinku jokapäiväisen elämään, niinku pikkuhiljaa kaikki nämä tekniikatkin, että sen kautta elämä muuttuu paljon helpommaksi. Ja tietenkin siitä on vielä polkua niinku eteenpäinkin.
Kyllä, kyllä.
Mutta täytyy olla siellä, missä sä parhaillaan olet, niin kuin käsitellä just sitä, eikä niin kuin pyrkiä mihinkään taivaisiin ennen kuin sulla on tietyt läksyt niin kuin tehty.
Haluaisitko jatkaa vielä kertomista siitä, että kun tämä true self, eli tämä todellinen minän löytäminen on se ehkä semmoinen niin kuin tärkein tavoite, niin mitä kaikkea se sitten loppupeleissä vaatii? Sä kerroit siitä, että ajatusten niin kuin puhdistaminen, tunteiden puhdistaminen, mitä muuta? Mitä sä voit vielä kertoa tavallaan lisää tästä aiheesta?
No, sanoisinko näin, että meillä on mahdollisuus käydä henkilökohtaisia niin sanottuja niin kuin keskusteluja opettajan kanssa omasta kehitysvaiheesta ja silloin me sovitaan, mitä mun täytyy tehdä, mihin mun täytyy huomiota kiinnittää, mikä on vielä heikkous ja silloin mä pysyn näissä raameissa, mitä niin kuin opettaja antaa, että nyt on tehtävä tämä osuus ensiksi ja sen jälkeen seuraavan keskustelun aikana sitten sovitaan niin kuin seuraavista asioista ja käytän läpi. Mutta tietenkin tämän...
Eikä välitavoitteita.
Joo, välitavoitteet, joo. Mutta tämän practical consciousnessin lisäksi olisi hyvä mennä Kriya Babaji Yogaan initiaatiolla.
Miksi se on tärkeää?
Koska siellä ne ensimmäisen initiaation tekniikat ovat niinku ihan sellainen perusasia, kun me Practical Consciousness 3. kurssilla esimerkiksi opitaan niinku vapauttamaan häiritseviä ajatuksia, mutta siellä Kriya Babaji Yogassa me opitaan me pistetään oma mentaalisuus meidän ohjauksiin, että me itse pystytään ohjaamaan sitä omaa mentaalisuutta niin, että se olisi niin kuin meidän käsissä. Ja siellä on sitten hengitysharjoitukset, eli pranajamat ja se minullekin vielä sellainen kesken oleva aihealue, että se on valtavien mahdollisuuksien maa, että kun meillä on ne naadit kehossamme, josta energia liikkuu, myös Kiinan lääketieto tuntee niitä. Ja se niin, että kehosi voisi olla terve, paremmassa kunnossa ja näiden sitä traditioon kuuluvien harjoitusten kautta. Kriya Babaji on yksi sitoista, eli kaikki nämä tekniikat niin kuin vievät eteenpäin tässä traditiossa.
Heidi, do you have something to add?
I could add, if we have talked about the practical consciousness, we have talked about the Kriya Yoga, and we have just mentioned that also we have Ishvarananda Yoga, what we as students have called, what is, if we say that practical consciousness is beyond the mindfulness, then Ishvarananda Yoga is beyond Kriya Yoga. And this is really, maybe interesting part is not the right word, but it's really developing part to the students who have already go to the path of the deeper studies. And we're really looking forward that Ingvar would have more time to focus on that, and more people also going to the deeper studies as well. But you have to begin from the simple things to releasing emotions, and if you go to the bath, then Ishvarananda Yoga also waits for students as well.
Okay, all right. So, jotain, mitä ei olla muistettu ehkä tässä mainita tämänkin lähetyspäivän aikana on, Kelly, kerropa sinä.
Joo, eli tänäkin arvotan 2 Ingvar Villiton kirjaa. Ja sen sitten Freeing Yourself from Emotional Addictions to Live a More Joyful Life. Ja tässä tosiaan on sitten kaikki nämä, suurin osa tunteiden vapauttamistekniikoista sisällä ja tosi paljon ja mielenkiintoista luettavaa, että aika monet kursseilla käyneet ovat sitten kertoneet omista kokemuksistaan, että mistä hirveästä paikasta tai kokemuksessa he ovatkin olleet ja ovat niin kuin päässeet siitä ulospäin. Ja näissä kirjoissa on sitten Ingvar Villiton allekirjoituskin.
Nimikirjoitukset?
Joo, nimikirjoitus.
Signeerattu.
Joo. Eli arvotan 2 kirjaa tänään ja tulisi, jos olet kiinnostunut, laita sähköpostiviesti info@r-tv.fi.
Aivan oikein, aivan oikein. Eli tosiaan laittakaa ihmeessä niin sähköpostia meille päin, niin olette mukana kirja-arvonnassa siitä. Niitä lähtee ilmeisesti 2 kappaletta tänäänkin.
Joo, kyllä.
Kelly ja Heidi, onko teillä vielä jotain, mitä haluaisitte tänä iltana tässä keskustelussa tuoda? Minun pääni alkaa olla aika tyhjä.
Joo, on ollut mielenkiintoinen keskustelu kaikin puolin ja kertoo kaikista koko opettajan opetuksen niin kuin laajuudesta ja että tässä on oikeasti tosi paljon mahdollisuuksia niin kuin syventyä, saada tietää, oppia ja mä kyllä suosittelin sille polulle menemistä, jotta sulla olisi niin kuin selvää karttaa, mitä niin kuin oikeasti sun kanssa niin kuin tapahtuu sisälläpäin ja miten sä pääset omassa elämässä eteenpäin.
Heidi.
I should say your head is empty, so our work is done. That's perfect. This is what the teaching is about, so good luck.
My head is empty all the time.
Excellent.
Okay, do you feel that we are done with this now? Or someone has still?
I would say thank you for having us and thank you for the invitation. And we have one interview to go tomorrow, and we will focus on Lilleorusta. So looking forward.
Jep. Kiitoksia kaikille mukana olleille ja tosiaan laittakaa sähköpostia, mikä haluatte olla mukana tässä kirja-arvonnassa. Ja ensi viikolla sitten perjantaina tulee lisää virolaisia tänne, mutta vain sukunimeltään. Eli Ilkka ja Harri Virolainen, tohtoriveljekset, ovat tulossa tänne puhumaan sisäisestä rauhasta omasta näkökulmastaan. Mutta vielä siis huomenna Practical Consciousness ja ensimmäiseksi aloitamme Ingvarin kertomalla siitä, että mikä paikka on Lilleoru ja kuinka se oikeastaan syntyy. Nyt vaan toivomme, että voidaan lopettaa täältä tätä. Kiitoksia myös tekniselle henkilölle Rainerille.